Yo, what is up guys? It's Pedro here. In today's video, I'll be talking about Dan Quinn and how he could be making a mistake keeping Olamide Zaccheaus back there as punt returner. Also, I'll be giving you guys an injury update for the Commanders-Eagles game tomorrow night. If you guys are new, make sure to subscribe, hit that like button and that notification bell as well. It really does help out the channel. We're around 100 subscribers away from 14,000 subscribers. Just go ahead and do it. It's free. It takes 1 second. It means a ton to me. So let's get into this. So Dan Quinn, like you guys saw in the game, and if you didn't, I'll let you know. Zaccheaus fumbled the ball twice. And it was on the first two punts. The first punt, he muffed it, and then he, fell right on it. And then the next possession, he muffs it. It hits off, and both times it hits off of his face mask. I don't understand how that can happen to you 2 times in a row. And it hits off his face mask and it goes, over and behind his head. And the Steelers get it and they score a touchdown off that. So that was 7 points just because Zaccheaus. Could have been more too if he, wouldn't have gone on the fumble, wouldn't have recovered his own fumble the first time. And Dan Quinn, and this has happened at least one other time. I believe it might have been the Giants game or the Bears game. I know Jeremy McNichols recovered a fumble, and I'm pretty sure it was off of a Zaccheaus return. Dan Quinn said there won't be a change at punt returner for Thursday, and Philly reiterated he still has confidence in Olamide Zaccheaus despite the 2 muffs. Hey, that's fine. I would have moved on, because not necessarily cut him, because he's still an okay receiver for them and can, provide some stuff there. But he 2 muff punts in a row, plus, one in the game before that. It was in the last, 2 games before this game against the Pittsburgh Steelers. He muffed it. So that's just way too many times for me to feel comfortable with him back there returning punts. And also it might be in his head. Okay, shoot, I just fumbled. I need to make sure I catch this, and then he's not going to be as good of a returner. Honestly, with the punt returner, I just need a guy that can catch the ball and isn't going to fumble. And if he really needs to, or if he really can, and there's space, he can get you 5-10 yards. That's fine. I know a lot of people hated Trey Quinn, but, and even Dax Milne as a punt returner. But those guys didn't really fumble the ball, and that's what matters to me as at punt returner, especially when half the time you return it, or not half, but maybe a third of the time you return it, there's a penalty, so you get, you move back anyways. So, if you have an elite returner, go ahead, have them return the punts. But in this case, it's better just to have the guy fair catch it, not get hit, hurt, and, penalties as well. But Zaccheaus, in terms of returning the football, he actually has been pretty good. But the problem is catching the football. And some people in the video after the game, or maybe the day after with Benjamin St-Juste, one of the last 2 videos were asking about Jamison Crowder. He's still on IR. He was our punt returner last year. I thought he was pretty good. And yeah, he has a hamstring injury. He's on IR, been there for a little bit. We'll see what happens with him when he comes back. If he comes back, they have a limited amount of guys they can bring back off of IR. So we'll see if they decide to bring Crowder off of IR. They have other options though. Luke McCaffrey, I bet you he can return punts. If you really want, I bet you Noah Brown could do it. Eckler's returning kicks. I'm sure he could return punts. I think he has returned punts in the past. And I'm trying to think of any other guys. Corners, no. I think they had Mike Sainer still returning punts earlier on in the year, or in the offseason during training camp a little bit. He was a receiver in college, but I don't think they're going to keep him there or put him there just because, he's a second round pick. You don't want to really get him hurt. And also he's a defender. You don't usually like to put those guys out there unless they're elite at it, like, Jabril Peppers did in college, or then did it in the NFL as well. So I would say they're going to keep Zaccheaus. That's what Dan Quinn said. All right, I saw someone comment this as well on Twitter, at least tweet this out. At this point, it's not on Zaccheaus anymore. It's on Dan Quinn. If he fumbles it, obviously it's a bad play by Zaccheaus, but Zaccheaus has shown he shouldn't be back out there returning punts, and Dan Quinn is putting him back out there. And if he continues to muff, that's on Dan Quinn. So, we're just going to have to wait and see what happens. I would have switched it. Could be a big mistake. These special teams plays are so big in these games. You missed an easy field goal, or you allow a big punt return, or you muff it. That changes the game. That really does change the game. And yeah, you can't have a guy muff punts. So hey, if it works out and Zaccheaus has a big return against the Eagles, or just doesn't fumble and has some solid returns, then hey, props to Dan Quinn, and I'll say I was wrong. But right now, I don't love this decision because, again, he's fumbled 3 times in the last few weeks. Lost only 1, but still. And then also, it's going to be in his head, and that, to me, is something that, I don't know, could affect him. Injury report. So, Nick Bellore, who has been a special team stud, by the way, he did not practice on Monday, but that was like a walkthrough or whatever designation. Also didn't practice on Tuesday. Marshawn Lattimore didn't practice both days, and today he's on this, doing a little bit of work, so might get in a limited, but I would, doubt he plays this week. Austin Seibert didn't practice both days. That's not good. But hey, Zane Gonzalez did solid against the Steelers. Tyler Biotish, limited. He'll be fine. I believe he had an ankle injury during the game, but limited with, ribs, or I guess it was a rib injury, maybe ankle too. I guess it says foot too. It has 3 different injury designations. I think he'll be fine. They're just resting him. Brandon Coleman, shoulder, he'll be fine. Clelin Ferrell, I don't know, but probably will be fine. Lucas getting too limited is good. I would say, I don't know. He'll be questionable for the game. Andrew Wiley and Brian Robinson both limited. I think they will both play. Robinson said he thinks he has a great chance of playing, and then today was out there doing some practice as well. Noah Igbenogany, Dante Fowler, and Jordan McGee all full, have some minor injuries, I guess. And then the Eagles, they had a bunch of guys with DMP on Monday, but again, that was a walkthrough, and they didn't really do it. It was just a designation, and same thing on Tuesday, I guess. They were all, those guys that were DNP are limited. So Devonta Smith, who's going to play, Darius Slay, Dallas Goedert, and Kobe Dean. They don't got a lot of injuries right now, so they're looking good for injuries. We have a lot of guys. How many guys actually miss? I think Nick Bellore looks like he's missing the game. Marshawn Lattimore probably missing the game. Austin Seibert would probably say, it's looking like he's missing the game. Not a lock, though. And then everyone else probably will play besides maybe Cornelius Lucas. That's kind of what it's looking like right now for the Washington Commanders, but obviously things can change. I'll keep you guys updated on that. Big game, 30 hours away. It's a big game. I'm excited. If the Commanders win this game, they're first place in the NFC East. They have a sour taste in their mouth from the game against the Steelers, and they should. So let's, hopefully they win this game and improve to 8-3 on the season and get a mini bye going into that next game, which I believe is the Titans. But yeah, that's it for today's video. The Zaccheaus thing isn't crazy, and it's not like a huge mistake, and he could be right. Dan Quinn could be, but personally, I just think it's a bad move to keep him there, and it could turn out to be detrimental if he continues to do it and he doesn't bench him. But yeah, that's it for today's video. Hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe if you guys are new, and comment down below Andre Roberts, a old returner for the Redskins. Peace.